Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the PMP Edge. Today, we welcome you for this very special program, and we would be definitely try to make it very interactive. If you guys can drop in where you're signing in from, that would be wonderful. While we wait for others, so if you can just drop in, that would be awesome. Let's see where you guys signing in from. Can you guys hear me okay? See me okay? Yes, no, maybe. Can you drop your message in the chat box so that we can test the system? Ahmed, good. You can hear me okay? Uh, those of you who are signing in from different places, could you just drop where you are signing in from? Your location, please, if you don't mind. Feel free to put your location. That would be appreciated so that we get to know where you're signing in from. Good morning, everyone. I'm Upendra Giri and I'm in Silicon Valley. Could you just drop where you're signing in from? So drop the text in the chat box. That would be appreciated. So I get to know where you're signing in from. So let's see. We got D. Jenkins, we got Roger, we have Nisha, we have Amit, and yeah, so let's see. Viret said from Toronto, welcome, Viret. Thanks for joining. Great. Wonderful. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, folks, for joining us. So I think we will move ahead as we have a long, literally a marathon today. We would be, the way we want to structure this is when, if you have any questions, please drop that question in the chat box. We will definitely take those questions towards the end of the session. We want to make it interactive for sure. And we hope to see that you stay till end of the webinar so that you can take advantage, the full advantage of the session today. Well, folks, my name is Upendra Giri. I'm the CEO and founder of Upbuild Global Inc. And let's dive in. Wonderful. But could you just tell me if everything works? Because I'm trying to see if this presentation works okay. Screen has stopped. Okay. So just allow me a few seconds. I'm just trying to make this thing work, guys. Okay. Okay. Ahmad, could you check for me? Can you test for me if everything is
Yeah,
working
so
okay?
we cannot see your screen as of now.
Okay, just a second. Let me just make sure.
Yes, sir.
All right. Uh, what do you see, Ahmad?
Sir, the PowerPoint, sir.
Okay, do you see the entire in a presentation mode, or you see as a?
No, sir, the whole PowerPoint.
Okay, okay. Let me try again. Guys, just excuse me because I just got my new laptop and I am just trying to make sure this works fine. We tried, everything was okay. Just um, the PowerPoint mode is not working. Just a second. Okay. Can you see that PowerPoint now?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. How about now?
Yeah,
Ahmad, can
yes,
you
sir.
tell me? Is it working
Yes,
now?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it works now, guys. Let me just see. It works now. I'm at the second slide.
Right, sir. It's
Okay,
working.
great. It's working. Thank you for being there, guys. I'm sorry that it took me a little time. As I said, I just recently got my new laptop, so it's given me some hiccups, but we are back to getting on the agenda now. So I'm sure you guys had been thinking or had been trying to get to your journey that's called PMP certification. So we just have just this poll. If you can attempt this poll, I would really, really appreciate it. Where are you on your PMP journey? So could you just attempt this poll for me, please? And if there are black patches, so just ignore that for some time because we would be probably running this poll, and we'll get the poll answers very shortly. So there's another 30 seconds we'll give for this poll. So if we are able to see that and you are able to attempt the poll, please do so, and so that we can get going. Excuse me. So far, what I'm seeing, let's do the poll is over. It's almost. So let's show the results, right? So 20 40% people say they're just exploring, not sure if this is the right step or not. I agree with you because this was not necessarily the case some time back. But yes, of course, a lot of people are thinking whether this is the right certification for you or not. And there are 60% people who are on this poll saying that they are actively preparing and not enrolled in the program yet. Nobody said that are already enrolled. So that's why we are here for, to help you walk through the entire process. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. For those people who are not sure whether this is the right certification or not, I will deep dive into this discussion as we move forward. But for those who are 40%, who are 60%, they know for sure why PMP, and this is the time for them to go for PMP certification. I will definitely address the questions for them as well. Well, let's move on. Who is this program is for? Professionals who want to level up their project management capabilities and skills and competence to excel and to lead from the front. This is for those people. This special session has been conceived and designed for those people. So what we're going to talk about today in this session is the strategy execution challenge. As a thought leader, as a person who has been asked to deliver excellence at the workplace, this is definitely for those people, and we will definitely discuss about strategy execution, how the strategy is tied with project management, program, and portfolio management. We will definitely touch upon this one for sure. PMP certification demand. Why you are here? Why it is so happening that whole world is changing, that everybody wants to get PMP certification, and of course what it takes to get the PMP certification. We will go through this roadmap as we move forward, and then the next steps moving forward we will discuss about. So of course, before I deep dive into it, I would like to know, when do you plan to get your certification going? So could you share with us, Ahmed, can you share the poll with the folks, that what is the timeline you have in mind that you would like to take up this exam, this certification? 30 days, 60 days, or sooner? So let's see. Soon is 20%. Of course, let's talk about very shortly. I have few more people to go for the poll to complete. So we are on 30 seconds more, and then we will shortly close this poll. And let's see what people have to share. So poll just ended, and let me share the poll with you. And 50% people say that they want to take it in 30 days. 60% said they would like to take it in 60 days, 30%. And of course, soon category would be 17%. So each one of us has their own intent, but let's see what it takes to take the PMP certification. Because unless you know the roadmap, unless you know what it takes to get the PMP certification, then you can desire or you can dream, but the reality could be a little different. So we will deep dive and answer those questions as well. Great, wonderful. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing. For those people who stayed till end of the session, we have very special something for them. The very first thing is that we share the top 10 mistakes PMP candidate make and how to avoid them. That's one free gift we give to people who stay till end of the webinar. And then the second one is guiding principles for a high performance team. You will receive this as it's like a poster. You can print it as well, because most of the customers, they get in the print format, but then we will provide you in a digital format, so you can print it and put it in front of your desk where you spend most of the time. So this could be a handy tool for you. So let's move on. Hey folks, my name is Upendra Giri. A little bit about myself. I I'm a civil engineer by education, master's in environmental engineering, and I studied from Jamia Millia in Islamia from India, master's from Lehigh University in Pennsylvania, that was in year 1994. And right after that, I worked for NASA program, and that's the year I got exposed to PMI in 1998. And soon after that, I got my PMP certification in 1999. And since then, I had been just educating this beautiful concept of managing project, program, and portfolio management. I got my PMP 99, then PFMP in 2015. And PFMP is the highest level certification you can think of because it addresses why do you do certain things at a portfolio level. And I have gotten all these enablement from SAFE, CSM, Discipline Agile, and then, of course, served various entities, including NASA, Airtel, PMI, Microsoft, and many, many more. I've been instrumental in setting up PMOs for more than 100 companies in more than 25 countries so far. And I have co-authored these 3 books with Seema Giri, which is Break Free to Peace, Love and Unity. And another one is The Art of Leadership. And then also this book called Power Fuel. So I've been a 3 times international bestseller, and I feel proud. And these books were written during COVID time. So we utilized that COVID time beautifully and came out with some powerful tools. Well, let's talk about you and why you are here. And let's understand the landscape we are talking about, the demand for PMP certification. Uh, PMI says the future of project management is not just about managing projects, but about leading the change from the front. And that's the intent. Well, numbers don't lie. Let's understand what is happening globally. So about 90 million people worldwide work in a project management oriented environment. So what does that mean? Wherever projects touch people's life, imagine about 9 billion people are there in the world, almost 9 billion. Out of those 90 million people work in a organized and structured of project environment. And out of that, about 45 million project professionals are needed between now and 2035 due to replacement because of baby boomers and then growth, which is happening. So growth, which is, we are living a hyper growth environment today, especially after COVID and then after introduction of AI. So what does it mean? So this one I've been observing for last almost 30 years. 1.2 to 1.5 million people get trained every year on some sort of formal education, not necessarily towards PMP certification, but people generally who could qualify to get certified globally. Out of which about 300,000 to 350,000, which is about 20 to 30% people take PMP certification or PMP certification exam they attempt. And they do very well, actually. 60 to 70% people who attempt the PMP exam pass the exam. But the biggest challenge which I find, which the worry which I have, is most people who go through the education, but they don't necessarily take the exam. So passing the exam is not the problem. Attempting the exam is the problem. And why does that happen? So let's talk about why that happens. Is it fear of failure? Is it you sit on it for way too long and then you build a self-doubt kind of situation? And that self-doubt keeps building up. And many times, and this happens because you don't have a structure to go about. The uncertainty builds up, the readiness becomes doubtful, and you are overwhelmed by a lot of content which is thrown on you, and you reach a learning plateau. And guess what? And on top of that, you have lack of motivation. And that's not enough. Then you are boggled down with agile mindset barrier, which has become even more pronounced in last about 5 years. And especially with the introduction of PMBOK 7th version. And I can tell you folks, it's not only the PMBOK 7th version, it's about it's about because the world before COVID was very predictable or relatively predictable, but then change was still happening, but change was happening with a slower pace, and slower pace you can still handle it. But now the world is living a hyper change environment. So the project have not the amount of work or amount number of project has not decreased. It's increased many fold. But the way you go about addressing those projects, dealing with those projects, getting the work done has become very challenging. And that's what we need to appreciate. Someone who have trained, mentored, and coached on every single version of PMBOK, right from inception. So I took my PMP in 99 on version 1 of PMBOK. Then version 2, 3, 4, 5, up to version 6. It was mostly or almost waterfall method. But the version 7th, which we are talking about today, is version 7. And version 7 is about mix of two things. It's a waterfall as well as agile framework. And that's what we need to make sure that we are not only exposed, we have good understanding, we have good knowledge about it, and we have a uh, good way to comprehend and what kind of questions will come in the exam. That's what is most important, and that's where I see most people struggle today. We understood, we recognized, we felt that there was something to be done. And that's why we conceived a framework that it's not about just training, it's the transformation for people who work in project-oriented environment. How we went about it, we went deeper. We went about the how people evolve, how people engage in the flow, how people use the best practices, and that's where we can see based on your chakras in your body. Actually, these are 7 chakras. The very first one is root chakra, which is red color, and that's where you get the self-doubt. If your chakra is kind of not aligned, then you will develop self-doubt. So we kind of created this framework called Inspire 7 I framework. The very first I is inspire. Then you get into the ideation stage. So inspire talks about why are we doing something, what we do. So inspire talks about why, it addresses why. And then ideate talks about what options do you have in order to go about making something happen. And then third one is talk about intake process. What all tools and capabilities and capacity do you have in order to handle anything? So PMBOK certification or PMP certification is one of those initiatives like a project. Do you have right resources with you? That's the intake process. And then you get into implementation using project, program, and portfolio mindset. And with that, you get into creating the impact. That's when you get the certification in your hand. And with that understanding, you will go deeper your own wisdom, which you have developed coming out of this whole process on the 6 stages. Then you get into continuous improvement, because it doesn't stop there. You have to be staying certified, or you have to keep embracing new things which keep coming in the workplace, and PMI stays relevant what is happening in the world, so that you can keep bringing change to your competence, capability, and skills, so that you are able to contribute the difference which you are supposed to do as a change maker at the workplace. So this model helps us to remove the self-doubt by focusing why you want to pursue PMP certification through our Inspire stage. As I said, we co-create a study plan based on the learning styles for personalized spacing and clarity in ideation stage. Then we take the intake process, where we curate high impact content maps that focus on what drives exam performance. And then, of course, we implement run prep like a project, timeline, milestone, raid logs, and Kanban boards. And impact is not only about delivering mock tests with analytics to track readiness and reduce uncertainty. And then, of course, the insight guide weekly retrospective that help learners reflect, pivot, and regain momentum. And then, of course, if on any stage of the journey, if you have self-doubts, you have a coach by your side to remove any doubts you might have. So this is our 7-step process to go take you from this conversation to the one you have certification in your hand. And that's the journey we walk you through. So with that, today, the strategic execution is more about execution centric. The project manager of the future will need to be a hybrid of a business leader, a technologist, and a strategist. That's what Gartner says. So you have to wear probably head of thinker, a businessman, a somebody who's technically savvy, and a adaptive leader. And these are the traits which are required. When I took the exam 25 years back, these heads would be very different. That would be scope, time, and cost. That's all you had to be responsible for. You could not even think why you are doing this project. You could not question your superiors why they're asking you to do certain things. So the world has changed, the business dynamics have shifted, and the control is moving from top to a lower level, where you become not only the person who is responsible for deliverable, you have to be outcome oriented person who drives the business value to and that's the direction the world is moving. So project managers are expected of delivering the business value in times to come. So what's your biggest concern about navigating today's professional landscape? Let me know in the chat. Anything which comes to your mind, guys. I would like to see that what is holding you back, what challenges you are facing, or what different things are you seeing in the workplace today. Can somebody drop me anything in the chat box? What do you see a difference in last decade or so? Anybody? I just opened the chat here, so I want to see what you guys see here. So I might have a little difficulty, but okay, let's see. Ahmad, if I'm not able to see, because I'm not able to click on this one, could you see anybody saying anything in the chat? Because I'm not able to see the chat here.
Yes, sir. I'll let you know once people are entering the detail.
All right. So anybody who is willing to share the challenges which you are seeing or concerns you have in today's professional landscape, because this conversation, this session is not about only PMP certification. Anything coming to your mind or anything which you face today, which could you get second opinion, or you can get validation on your assumptions which you have, or you don't know, you just want to know from others, right? So think I'm a media among other people, and then I would be able to address that. Any question or concern you might have at this given point of time. And if you don't, then I will move ahead with this, because we can have this. Yeah.
Yes, sir. There is one. My biggest concern is that I have not looked for a job for a long time, almost 7 years, as I was in my previous job for a little bit more than 6 years.
Okay. This requires definitely one-on-one, very one-on-one session, which we do for people. Of course, when you get so comfortable in your current job, and everything start coming so easily. So what happens? Your flow state you have come to a plateau in your flow state. So in flow, the way it works, the challenge is thrown on you, and you have to, suppose you are on a quotient of 100 unit of challenge, and you have 100 unit of capability. So you are very comfortable. People only grow when they are given 120 units of challenge, even they have 100 unit of capability. So capability would be improvised when you have a higher level of challenge, because you look forward for that challenge, and if you overcome that challenge, you are motivated. You are willing. Your willpower increases when you overcome a obstacle or a challenge, and then you feel like engaging and try to defeat, just like going to a gym. If you are able to lift a weight and you have been lifting every day, you don't feel like trying next level. But somebody said, okay, I challenge you, you can't do this. So who is pushing you behind you to go to the next level? So that time is over. That game is over. When you could see that, if you look at your parents, they spend 30, 35 years in the same role, same thing. They enjoyed life because they found pleasure somewhere else. But then work has become a very important part of our life. So you need to create the pleasure and excitement and enjoyment in the workplace. And one of the way is to enhance your capability, keep getting and facing newer challenges every single day. So this particular conversation requires a one-on-one session, which I will request Emma to send a link, so that if you have a personal situation where you want to have a deeper conversation, I would be more than happy to do one-on-one session, because this is what we do for a living these days. And this is a free of cost session. There's no charge for it, because I help and people become entrepreneurs. In my past life, I've trained 100,000 people. Out of 100,000, 5,000 people have become entrepreneurs. And trust me, the way world is going, you will see more and more people choosing to become entrepreneurs, because the traditional thought process of enterprises is start going to be challenged. If you look at Accenture, you look at Wipro, Infosys, TCS, Gartner, all these consulting companies, if you look at their share market value has dipped by 20 to 30% since beginning of this year. So this is indicative of the fact that the enterprise ecosystem will start getting challenged. It would be solopreneur and young entrepreneurs with few people coming together to solve a specific problem. Because I'm also, one of my big role which I do is coach, mentor, train entrepreneurs to be successful in their life. Like PMI, there's a body called TIE, tie.org. Just check it out for those people who want to explore the domain of entrepreneurship. I've been a charter member of TIE for 25 years. So my work in project management PMI had been more than 25 years. And for entrepreneurship also had been 25 odd years. So I would be more than happy to share my own experiences, my own failures and some successes so that it could give you some insight. If that's something which like it got your attention, I want to see thumbs up so that I know, get to see that, are you able to, am I relevant to you guys or not? So can I see some thumbs up? That will give you some perspective that you are able to hear me okay. All right. Great, guys. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Let's move on to the next level. Okay.
There's one more question, sir, from Mr. Viray. I want to enhance my knowledge and level up my career.
So it's a very broad question. Knowledge in what? A particular field. And then if we choose that, suppose you want to build AI agents, like, of course, it requires a very different capability. If you want to be a agile coach, for example, that requires a very different skill. If you want to be a portfolio manager, it requires a very different skill. If you want to be a technical project manager, it requires a very different skill. If you want to be so if you share with us, I would advise, Ahmed, can you drop my email address in the chat so that if you send me your resume, I can help you identify which domain, which direction you should be going, and to excel in that domain and that direction, what career path could be there, and in order to excel in that career path, what skills you would need, I would be more than happy to do that. That works? If that works, can I see a thumbs up? Great. Wonderful. Thank you. All right. Let's move on to the next slide. Emmett, somehow I'm clicking here and it's not moving forward. So guys, just bear with me. I
Sir,
need to
try with the arrow key.
I'm trying, but it's not. Oh, you know what? Okay. A lot of people think, Ahmed, can you see the screen is okay? It's a green slide.
Right, sir. It's okay.
Okay, great. So people think that PMI only offers PMP certification. That's what I used to think 25 years back. No. Different strokes for different folks. Suppose you love project management and you want to see that my children become project managers and they don't have to wait 10 years to get into project management. Guess what? Your kids could get right at the college level. I say today, especially today, when most children out of college degree, they're not able to find jobs. I would say have them take CAPM certification. CAPM certification is just like, what you go through PMBOK 7th version. Only thing is they would get questions which are more definition-based questions, but they can get a exposure of project management right in today. And that will create a differentiator from other people. They would have technical capabilities, but project management capabilities, they can create a differentiator and get a job. Similarly, if you want to get into PGMP or program management level or portfolio level like myself, you should consider other certification. And then there are certifications which are domain specific. Suppose you are in construction industry. So PMI has released a PMI CP construction professional certification. So there are various domain specific certifications. I would encourage you guys to explore those. And if you have questions, As I said, every time I will say, if you have any questions, doubt after this webinar, drop me an email or schedule a clarity call on any of these, certifications, right? So let's look at, I talked about certified associate in project management, where you manage scope, time, quality, or get doing things right. Doing things right is project management. But as you move up the ladder, guys, so then PMP had been the most popular certification. And if you look at 1.5 million people have been able to leverage the power of project management in last so many years. But then what is beyond PMP is where realizing the benefit which comes with the program management certification. I conduct a PGMP certification workshop also for those people who have about 15 plus years of experience. And in this audience, if you are 15 plus years of experience, before you submit or you sign up for any class for PMP certification, please get the validation done, whether there could be something better waiting for you. This could be program management or portfolio management certification, guys, because it talks about resource planning, predictive modeling, maximizing ROI and benefit realization. So, and then at the portfolio level, doing the right things. The world is challenged with the rule doing the right things today. So it is about strategic alignment. Suppose your company is struggling. Hey, and I was talking to somebody from ServiceNow, one of the senior CXO from ServiceNow yesterday, and the gentleman said that we have come up with a control tower kind of model where you choose AI, which department should go for AI adoption first. And that is the decision at a portfolio level. What should we focus more first? Do we invent? Do we manage the expectation of our customer? Do we reach out to the customers? Because customers are getting hyper on the news of the world is going to change the landscape of the enterprises as a future unfolds. So definitely these are some of the things, right? So let's move on to, so if you look at the numbers, there are only PFMPs are less than 3,000, less than 10,000 would be PGMPs, and 1.5 million. So there's a lot of scope for people, 15 years plus experience. Please send your resume if your experience is more than 15 years. Doesn't matter in which industry, which domain, even if you have been working in healthcare supporting a doctor, even if you have been a HR person, never managed project, but you must have managed programs. So, our portfolios, share your resume. Even if you work for a political campaign in the past, supporting a political party, I want to see your resume and guide you so that you become unstoppable in your career down the road. Okay, look at this, something I wanted to share with you. One of my student who attended my program 16 years back, and he reached out to me recently that, this is what he wrote. Hi, Upendra, I want to reach out to you for PMP training in Delhi. Many years back, I attended your session for PMP Fast Track. It was a good program and helped me a lot later on in my career. Now I'm needed for my team. Who is the gentleman? Mr. Rakesh Ravindra Pandita, Chief Executive Officer of Lombardy India. You want to know what Lombardy India does? And it's a global company, European company, but they move mountains. They make tunnels in the mountains, guys. So very sophisticated, very high-end kind of work they do. And I had a privilege to conceive a model for this company for vision to reality for corporates. So at a value, purpose, and why do you want to do something? This is at the center, the core, why you got answer. Then we selected people from the entire company, from the top workforce productivity level. So PM for All was conceived. So we taught talked about ethos, leadership, innovation, accountability, ownership, standardization, performance monitoring, collaborating, and all that. And out of this, we plan on taking 10% people who will go for PMP. Out of the PMP, 10% people go for PGMP. Out of PGMP, 10% people will go for PFMP eventually. This way, the whole company aligned to one core focus, the vision of the leaders, so that they can build a better future today for tomorrow. So we do help companies form creating the not only strategic vision but alignment of the workforce. This is what we do. This is sample. And if your company is struggling on the alignment or getting things done, and everybody has a different page, we bring people on the same page. This is the real class which took place in December last year in Delhi when I was visiting India, and this is the type of work we do. So let's see what this leader had to say. So if I can play the video, if it works.
It's been 15, 16 years back that we met for the.
Ahmed, can you hear this?
Yes, sir.
Ahmed, can you? Okay.
It's been 15, 16 years back that we met for the first time, and the impression was so strong that I remembered him after 16 years, and finally we could reconnect. 2009, I thought of looking for something to improve my project management skill. What was most impressive about the program was the content certainly was, but the person was more interesting. After 15 years, I was sitting with my team, and we had been talking about having a project management primer for our team. We found Mr. Giri on LinkedIn, and I think within 10 minutes he replied. They curated a program for us. We conducted a 2-day PM for all program. My feedback was people gained a lot out of that. So, and we intend to do some things together to improve the skills of people.
So this is what the leader says, right? So if you want to visualize yourself 5, 10 years down the road, and if you don't become a owner of a company of your own, or you don't get to a C-suite level, because that's what I saw, a hole in the entire project community level, because most people get to the war room. They don't make it to a boardroom. My sessions, my class, which I handpick these people, I see to it that they live the purpose of being on the planet. And when you do that, your level is not at the war room level. Then you are at a strategic level. You're a thinker, you are a doer, you are a change maker. And how can we help you to push that? Your boundaries, that's the reason we are here talking about it. Why are you considering the PMP certification? Can you run this poll? I would like to see what people have on their mind, why they are here on this session. Ahmed, can you run the poll, please?
Yes, sir.
I can't see the poll. Did you run it?
Yes, sir.
You know what? I don't see it. So I hope everybody is able to see and attempt that. See, on my screen, it
Yes.
comes and goes.
Yeah, yes, sir. I'll let you know their response, sir.
Okay.
Yes, we could see it.
All right, great. Because my screen is flickering actually for some reason, and I'm sorry, guys, if this is giving any not so cool experience.
Okay, so 40% is for to boost my credibility and professional recognition. 40% again to qualify for better job opportunities or promotion. 20% to transition into a project management role, and 0% for my employer or industry requires.
Because I remember 15 years back, IBM used to have this yearly agenda that if you want to get your pay check increase next year, you must get your PMP. So that was the company requirement. The world is changing so fast. I think today's people, the folks today, they want to excel and they want to get in the flow of making progress continuously. So once you ace this skill of getting it done, it doesn't matter what comes on your way, whether it's your personal projects. For example, somebody's, and I will be very honest with you guys, 100,000 people, I hear very different stories where people they were struggling to find a partner, life partner. They applied project name concept to find one and got married and have children later and came with these case studies with me. 10, 15 years later, they will come back to me telling all their stories of how project management helped them in their personal life. How you heard the story already, how it helped a gentleman to get to the CXO level. Um, you could have any aim, goal, or mission in your mind, you share, we would be able to help you embark on that journey and hold you accountable. But that's where it can't be, the work does not have to be done by me, but can there be somebody holding you accountable? And that's what the coach does. So we have moved from being a trainer to being a not only mentor to some, but as a coach to people at large. That's how we have transitions ourselves. You know, I mean, a coach for soccer team or a athlete, coach may not run as fast as the athlete can run, but he can or she can make the athlete run faster. And that's our mission. Wonderful. Let's move on, guys. Thank you for the. By the way, do you know this PMP certification is the gold standard? And especially in America, once you get the PMP, what record shows for last 30 odd years, I personally can tell you that PMP certification increases 33% chance of your higher salary. What with me, when I moved from East Coast to West Coast, my hourly rate was $45 an hour in East Coast before PMP. When I came with a PMP, my hourly rate became $125 an hour. And that is, I'm talking 1999. So you can imagine the value given to me. And of course, there were a lot of other things, but PMP certification was one of them because of that, I got this opportunity, right? So for this data is from Forbes and CIO. This is very clear. What employers are seeking and how PMP really helps you do that. It to verify expertise and professionalism. The process itself makes you in a gold, actually. This is what I say. The success rate, that's what employer wants to see. Proven methodologies reduce risk and improve outcomes. Effective leadership and collaboration. Of course, you become a servant leader, and with the agile and adaptive readiness, you understand what it takes to deliver in any circumstance. And comparative advantage it offers, not only that, but it becomes a what gets measured gets done, and what gets done gets rewarded. So if you look at from that perspective, yes, PMP certification makes you achieve faster, better, and in a very effective manner. So let's understand what it takes to PMP certification. So the journey itself, that you need 35 contact hours of certification. So 35 you will on step one. So we will put you under our program for, and I will share that with you. In our specialty program, you need to go through a 35 contact hours of exposure with us. Then we help you apply for PMP certification online. Then you schedule, and sometimes can go to audits and stuff like that. We schedule you for the exam. and then you prepare for the exam, and then of course finally you sit for the exam, and then you fly with the flying colors, right? You have the PMP certification eventually. And we see that a lot of time people say how long one should prepare for the PMP certification. And that's a very valid question, depending upon uh, how long have you been thinking. If you're thinking today, then I would say 8 weeks. And if you're thinking that I just wanted to feel it and I don't know when, then it would never happen, because I've seen those people also. They've been thinking and sitting, and it's picking up sometimes momentum and drop the momentum. And then they pick up something, then they drop them. That doesn't happen. It's like this. You go to shop and you bring also the grocery, start working on one grocery, and then you kind of get bored. You start working on another grocery. And by the way, the dinner is not served on the table that evening. It's better that you pick up one, you go follow through and make sure this gets delivered, processed, and everything. And that's what you can enjoy. This is the philosophy, because you are in the flow. So, what is the prerequisite? If you have 3 years of experience working in a project environment in last 8 years, you should be qualified. From an experience perspective, that experience does not have to be overlapping. We go this thing in deeper when we make you sit in the class. For this prerequisite, I sincerely advise that you share your resume. Ahmad, can you drop my email address so that if they can, they're willing to see whether they qualify to sit for the exam? Not, let's uh, review their resumes and give them answers, and give us 24 hours or turnaround time. We will let you know whether you are the right fit or not, or you are a right fit for higher level certification also. So we could probably definitely give you 24 hours turnaround time, right? 35 contact hours you can get from our education, or if you got CAPM certification from past, then you don't have to go through 35 contact hours. But even if you have learning from anywhere, that okay, I got my Udemy class or that class or this class, trust me, it is not about the resources which you have compiled together. That doesn't take you anywhere. It is about your commitment. It is your mission. It is your goal setting. It's somebody driving towards the finish line. That's the most important thing of the certification process. PMI will test you on 3 areas: ways of working, power skills, and business acumen. So, mastering predictive, agile, hybrid approaches, adapting the right approach for successful outcome. That's the focus for ways of working. And then interpersonal skill, leadership, effective leadership, and then how do we manage stakeholders? That's your power skills, because that in the absence of that, you don't not only pass the exam, but you fail in the real life also. Because I've seen people get PMP certification by self-studying or content exposure, but they it doesn't change them as a person. So if it doesn't change that as a person, then how can you deliver excellent in the workplace? Impossible. Take me for granted, by the way. It doesn't happen. Knowledge and expertise in business domain, and that's where I bring the biggest value, because I'm a serial entrepreneur, being part of the Thai ecosystem for 25 years and 25 years as a thought leader in project management. I combine these two powers together to make you excel, not only in workplace, but at the workplace which delivers the business value, which is being the intent of your senior leaders, right? So this PMP certification tests you on predictive, waterfall, agile, and hybrid, combining the power of two. So imagine, guys, nobody will tell you this. Without predictive, adaptive cannot deliver value. Why do I say that? The visionary leaders have a vision. Vision is about a future. Future will happen in the future only. So that is predictive. Somebody desires, somebody has a dream. If you don't have dreams, how can you deliver those dreams? So dreams are predictive. But then going to make those dreams happen on everyday basis, because what will come on your way to block your execution? The execution has to be agile. Execution has to be hybrid. And that's where you make things happen, vision and reality. And during this time, you will also create value or perceived value. And through that, those concepts, you are able to keep the people motivated to get to the vision of your or the intent which you have. So exam 180 questions would be there, 230 minutes you have. These are MCQs, four multiple choice. All four choices could be right answer, but you need to choose the most appropriate answer. And that's where our wisdom comes for play, because this is where we handhold you how not to get in the trap of the question. How do you get the clarity about the concept has to be understood first. And then on the concept is understood, and it's not you mugging it up. That doesn't help. Understanding is most important. Once you understood, then the concept, then on that concept understanding, you can probably 10 questions you can answer very easily, no matter how the examiner is asking questions, because concept is very clear. And that's where we bring our differentiator. Out of 180 questions, 170s are the final marking. They test you on 5 other questions, which would not be towards your pass or fail criteria, because they are building the question bank for future examinations. So if you got them wrong, you don't get penalized. If you got them right, you don't get an advantage. They want to get your perspective about level of difficulty. They try to test a lot of things around it so that they can use those questions in the future exam questions, right? Understood? Okay. Well, how questions are distributed. So as I said, process, people, and business domains. Out of these 3 domains, the predictive would be 25%, agile 10%, hybrid 14%. On the people domain, predictive would be 21%, agile would be 10%, and hybrid would be 11%. And the business domain, it's 4% predictive, 2% agile, and 2% hybrid. To me, the business questions are less, but the understanding of business drives every other question. So understanding of business is very important. Now, PMP certification, we will help you go through this process. How do you go fill up your application? We will be by your side to make sure your resume gets consulted, but that can be modified a bit because you have to put the application in certain format, which PMI wants to evaluate. So your project title, start, finish date, methodology which you use, team size, budget of the project, and the description about the project itself from 200 to 500 words, right? So PMI application audits, sometimes 20 to 25% people get into audit, and it's nothing to worry about. Whatever you are saying in your application, because they don't ask your document in the beginning, but when you go through the audit, you would have to keep those handy, and your person who will vouch for your experience would have to be validated. So if you are mentioning their names, phone numbers, and all that, they have to provide that yes, you have worked under them. So it's all about. So nothing to worry, nothing to be worried too much. By the way, these are some of the fees. PMI charges 164 for membership. Exam fee, if you're a member, then $425. If you're non-members, then $675. So we always advise that you become a member, which you get a lot of other benefits, but you also get a discounted price point for your certification process. So give and take, I would say total exam fee about under $600 would be the exam and membership fee, and this is, by the way, for folks in US. It might be a little different for folks in Canada and different parts of the world. So you need to check it out with PMI whether this has any different price point for you guys. So with this, any questions so far on this one? And there's a, by the way, renewal of this certification which happens every 3 years. It's members $60, non-members $150 would be a renewal process. So any question so far I can answer before I jump on to the next thing. But we can take the question towards, and let me just finish it then. I think it might be probably better, but keep your questions ready, guys. Keep your questions ready, because that's where, if you have question, then it would be definitely answered. So we are not a project management company which just only trains, but we build ecosystems, not only in companies, but in the countries. We have built that. I will give you a case study where we built the ecosystem for the country itself. And that's we are most proud of, actually. Dr. Kiran Bedi, when the first police chief of India, when I set up the PMI in India, that's when she came out, blessed us. And we always set the benchmark very, very high. This is what we have done. Since 2002, we have trained, we have done 100 PMOs, set up the PMI. Gregory Ballesteros said when he came out to India in 2005, we owe it to entrepreneurs like Upendra for not only setting the foundation of Project Move in India, but also of taking initiatives like PMI 2005 for advocacy to give back more than what they have gained from their motherland. So that's what the gentleman said. Some of the key customers we have serviced, some of the work we have done. If you are familiar, this is the 5,000-year-old city which went through revolution recently, last 3 years back. I was invited to drive this PMO setup. This is Varanasi, 5,000, the oldest existing city in the world. And this went through transformation. We led the PMO for them. We led the police reform. We are leading the army reform for US also. Some of the work we have done. So let me just play a very small video if that helps.
The PMI Eric Jeanette Project Management Excellence Award. This award is named after Eric Jeanette, one of the PMI founders who served as president, as chairman, and secretary of PMI in the 70s. He was instrumental to the creation of PMI regional seminars.
The Eric Jeanette Project Management Excellence Award recognizes an individual who makes an outstanding contribution to the project management profession through an act that demonstrates leadership and initiative while advancing project management concepts, practices, and theories. Mr. Upendra Giri has been instrumental in laying down the foundation for project management practices in India. He is the founder and trustee of PMI North India chapter and the charter member of TIE, the Indus Entrepreneurs. Mr. Giri has served as a trusted mentor for government bodies and public sector organizations, helping them select the right projects and create framework for project management implementation. Many government institutions, such as the National Informatics Center, an organization responsible for total IT support of all governments of India, and the Irrigation Department, attributed their project success to the right project management implementations guided by Mr. Giri.
Our Eric Jeanette Project Management Excellence Award recipient, Upendra Giri.
Right. So we had been in this space for 25 odd years. We understand what it takes. I just want to, whatever it takes to get the PMP certification, we are here. If you think that you need it and you need it now, and you are looking for a right partner to help you walk through the journey, we got it all covered, and we have all that what you need to get to this stage. If your mission is, if you're committed, we are committed. And with that commitment, what we do is we run this PMP fast track, which we have been doing for last 25 years. So these are some of things which can help you do this. We have 35 contact hours of on demand now, like a lot of people do that. But in this one, we don't necessarily do the eligibility assessment, personalized study plan. We don't do this, all that. This is a very basic level, which is everybody's selling in the market. We understand that we have to be having product which everybody does, but our differentiator comes when we do help you on your career path. We help you on your mission, help you the right application goes to the right process, and then the content which is live, which is inspirational, which keeps you motivated, not in during the class, but after the class. And but we don't provide coaching in this particular product, but Transformation Now is our product where we take extra mile, where we do a 5-week coaching program after class also. You may want to know what is the price point. Of course, this is out of the box $599. And then this particular product, which is $14.99, and this one is $19.99. You must be wondering, hey, we are on the webinar, what do we get? So if those people who are so ambitious, they can handle it off their own. For them, it's a $2.99. But I know that you need help, and I would say a lot of people go for this particular product called Launch Now, where you are tight with time. You want to do it now. 4 to 5 weeks, this could be your product. If you really want to build and transform yourself, and for sustenance perspective, then I would say Transform Now. This is the product which you may want to. There's no rush, no hurry. I just wanted to share the numbers with you. But I would say that this is our upcoming session in September 8th, 9th, 10th, 11. We run 2 weeks, 4 hours. So 8 sessions during this time. And those people who choose the 90-minute coaching calls after that, then you have 5 Thursdays. First Thursday starting September 25th. According to this, October 30th is the exam date for those people who really want to do in a structured manner. By the way, October 30th is the same date when I got my PMP in 1999. That was like 26 years back. Great. Well, I would like to, if cost, like, let's talk about, I think if you have any question, I would advise that you put a clarity call. And for anything, your eligibility, your any doubts, your career path and all that, any question or personal challenges, if you're facing any because of what's happening in the world, I would take any questions. But best way to predict the future is to create it. The time is to create it now. Stay in touch with us. This is my phone number, email address, and LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is the best source. If you somehow misplace anything, LinkedIn is always coming back. This gentleman found me on LinkedIn, right? With this, I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to take any questions you might have so far, because that's questions are important. Okay, so I'm going to stop it here. You may want to take a screenshot of this one so that you have the data with you. All right, guys. So I'm going to stop it here, and let's get on to the calls you might have. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Any question I may be able to answer. And Ahmed, I'm still having this issue. Okay. Any question I can answer. Okay. Les is saying that's why I'm starting to see the option to get the PMC certification. Great, great, great. Okay. Clarity call, right? Any other question I can answer, guys?
Yeah, hi. What will be the fee structure for this one?
Let me just, so you want to, okay. Question is what will the structure? So there are three programs which we offer to you, right? One was you do the learning at your own pace. So that's for today's webinar was $299. Otherwise, was $599. For that, it is just a recorded session, and then you can do of your own. A lot of people say, okay, I don't need any help. But what we recommend is the live session. The live session is one which goes for 8 days, 4 hours each. So that would be starting like we started the webinar today. So 4 hours. It would be 4 hours each on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, first week, and then following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, and then if you want to go for even further, so some people say, okay, Upendra, I'm not so disciplined, so hold me accountable. Let's decide a test date. Then in that case, I will say, let's decide 8 weeks from now. And that date is frozen. We have put on the ground that, a stone has been put as a milestone. And that is the day when you would have a certificate in your hand. And we will hold the accountability with each other that this will happen like this in this format. So for that, so you can imagine that, so $19.99, but for this session, it's $14.99, where we not only have 8 sessions, 4 hours each, then we have every week, every Thursday after that, for hour and a half, that you will come up with your doubts, whether self-doubts, doubts around the content, anything which is holding you back. We will drive you towards your certification journey. And that's where I'm finding a lot of people are struggling. They make commitments, and a lot of people who provide the trainings, they just give you the content, and then they think that everything will be done.
So we are working, right? So I mean, what are the timings like from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday? So what are the
Yeah,
times?
so there could be if you are, so generally what we do is there are two formats which we take. One, either we can do, suppose there are two formats, either we can do 2 weekends, full day. Okay. Then Monday, Saturday and Sunday. So the time could be 7 a.m. for 6 hours, and then 7 to 3 a.m., 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. That would be PDT. Which time zone are you in, Anita?
I'm in Eastern Time Zone, Virginia.
Okay. So then it would be, if you willing, then we do the Saturday, Sundays, 2 Saturday, Sundays. So that could be one format. If you think that you still want weekends and 8 sessions, then we need to conceive a model which could be that, okay, after working hours, can you do the every day for 8 sessions after working hours? We can figure it out. Timing, we can probably work around that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So in case if I take 8 hour session, like 4 hours each day for 4 days, I it would charge 14.99, and with if we learn on own, then it will be like 2.99. That's what you said, right?
So there are three models, as I said. One is self-learning, 299 for today. Then there's
Okay.
one which is live session, 8 sessions, right? So
Yeah.
that's 999. And
Okay.
then there's a coaching also till you get the certification in your hand, right? Then we
Yeah.
decide on a 4 hours session, 8 sessions, and then every Thursday, for 90 minutes until you get the certification. Those sessions are 5 sessions
Okay.
after the class.
Okay. Okay.
So there's a question from Roger. You promised to share a resource of common PMP mistakes. And are you still going to share it? Yes, of course. Ahmad, could you make sure that that promise goes to people?
Yes, sir.
So, and Viren said, hi, my query is that I'm working currently as operations support coordinator in the warehouse. I want to know what steps should I go first. First, the foremost and first thing you want to do is share your resume so that we can see that is it worth your time to put your sincere effort towards this, because it's a commitment on not only on your pocket but your commitment towards your time. So we want to make sure that your time is very well spent. So for that, I would spend time on your resume, and within 24 hours, I will revert back to you. So you must have received my email address. So reply to that, right? Okay. Anything else I can answer for you guys?
So exam fee and PMP certification exam fee, do we need to pay by ourselves? And we need to
You
schedule
know,
the.
if what happens, suppose we have come across this question, we get it all the time. Suppose your company is sponsoring, right? Suppose. So what
Mm.
happens, or company is not a sponsoring and you want to have a look at it, so what we do is we will charge your company or you, and because sometimes what happens, company wants to see one proposal which has the exam fee and the preparation fee also, right? So we give one invoice, they pay us against that, and we take care of that from there. Or you can do of your own, you pay separately to us and separately to PMI.
Okay, okay. Actually, I'm paying for myself, so I'll be doing. So I have to register myself, right? Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Anita, I could not hear you. I don't know if anybody else heard you.
No, no. What I'm saying is actually my company is not paying. I'm paying for myself, so I can register myself once this course is completed, right?
Yes,
That's what.
yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
will we will advise you. So first 2 weeks, don't worry about logistics, okay? How this would be done.
Okay.
Focus on your content and your connection with the content.
Okay.
And then you start building your confidence. Once the confidence is there, and parallelly, we will start working on other logistics with you.
Sure.
Yeah. Any other question I'm able to answer, guys? All right. Well, I'm here another couple of minutes. If you have any question or any concern, or you want to talk to us, or of course, there are various options now available for you. You have my phone number, you have my LinkedIn, you have my email address, you have even clarity call link, so that we can get on a one-on-one very box time. so that you get all your queries answered. If not, one, I really wanted to thank each one of you guys. I appreciate your time. It's not easy to take time out, especially during daytimes. We would seek your inputs. But what would your most ideal time for this session? Could you drop this thing in your, so session like this? What is the most ideal which you would have if you wanted to conceive? Could you give me the day and the time? I would love to get your feedback.
Yeah, instead of office hours times, like if you schedule like it after office hours or weekends, yeah, like we will be focusing more. Now we have to switch to like two ways, right? We want to listen this one, and as well as we have to respond to our
Right,
work.
right. Wonderful. Hey guys, my team, are you listening? I'm sure you're listening, right? So let's see what can we do. Let's try to make sure that we customer voice the biggest. You want to listen to and act on it, right? So we would definitely accommodate to your request. We will. Where I said, okay, thank you. I will send it tomorrow, which is the better to do before enrolling or to be member first. You know what? Where the best thing is that if you're committed, that I want to make this thing happen in 8 weeks' time, and that's all you have to do, make commitment to yourself for 8 weeks, leave rest of the worries to us. We have done this thing for last 26 years with more than 100,000 people. Trust me, you are in safe hands. So I would say enroll for with the commitment. Enrollment doesn't happen. See, and if you're not committed for anything, it would not happen. And this is what my firm belief is. And once you commit to sit, because commitment is not about money, commitment about your time, that on that Thursday you will show up for 4 hours. So, Anita, also send me timing for the workshop. We can adjust it 4 hours each, 8 sessions, even in the evening for your timing, so that this works for it. The way I believe about the whole thing is it could suit me, but it has to suit you, right? And if it suits you, it suits you. For America, it's about 50, 60% of the population would say similar things, right? Because they are East Coast. Because the biggest challenge is that we have so many various time zone. Just imagine in America and Canada put together, right? So we want to be relevant for people at large.
Yeah. I'll just ping you the timings, and as well as in case if it is on like if it includes weekend also, it will be better for us. Like continuous studies will go on, right, instead of only weekdays. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Thank.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Drop to, I think we should definitely connect after this call. Have you put a clarity call?
Yeah.
A clarity call. I think that will help.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you.
And Roger, I also recommend that you set the clarity call, and Vire for sure for you, because I want to go over with you on your resume. Anybody who's not sure on their qualification side, trust me, my sincere advice is to get on a call, because and before the call, make sure you have sent your resume. All right, guys. Wonderful. I appreciate your time, and your intent is very, very well welcome and is timely. I think the world is moving fast. The only thing I can tell you, the departing message for each one of you guys, in F1 race, every single player is given more or less similar vehicle, but always there would be one winner. Do you know who wins the F1 race? Can somebody tell me? Can somebody tell me who wins the F1 race, guys? You can unmute yourself and share, and then I will give you my perspective.
Who never give up?
That definitely is there. That definitely is there. Anything else, guys? Anybody else? So, you know what, guys? You know, the world throws curves on you, right? That's what people say, you know. So, on the curves, the person who picks up the speed by balancing the speed and, you know, control, speed and control, you balance it and you are in action. Because what happens, the turning points happening, the transient times are happening, and if you are in action during that time, you would be ahead of the game when people things settle down, because you are already in moment, you are in momentum, because you are living the moment, you are, that has created a momentum, and you are ahead of the game, and you will win the race. So let's win the race together in times when every single thing is so unpredictable, chaotic, abrasive. Let's make it happen. So, to those change leaders in the world, I welcome you to take that, make that choice, take the chance to change your life forever. Wish you all the best. Thank you. All right. Oh, D. Jenkins said, where can we get the replay? Ahmad, can you connect with these people who are asking, right? Jenkins, we will make sure this
Yes,
is
sir.
made available. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You will
Okay.
receive it over your email.
Great. Thank you so much, guys.